My father was born and raised in a place that what they used to call Minsk Gubernia, which is now called Belarus, but he lived in a village, tiny village called Lahi. And my grandfather, Allah Shalom, was a shoemaker by trade, a farmer by necessity, because he had a lot of children to raise and needed to feed them. So the shoemaker didn't bring in enough money. They lived in a one-room peasant house, and in there, all these kids slept. At one time, 15 of them, and they had not a stove, what am I thinking of? You know what I'm talking about? In the middle of the room was
like a wood stove.
Stove and space heater. I mean, it was all in one structure, and in the winter time, somebody would sleep on top of it to keep warm, you know. But then they slept on benches all around the room, and in one corner he had his last, shoemaker's last. That was a part of his living. The other part, he was, like I said, a farmer by necessity. He planted potatoes, and my uncle used to talk about how he and my father picked potatoes together. He says, "We picked potatoes, and I picked on him," you know, because he was the older son. There were of those 15 kids, there were 3 who died in infancy, because of course there was no medical help in the village. 1 was killed in a pogrom, and the other 11 grew up and came to this country. 4 boys and 7 sisters. The first of the brothers to come here was my uncle Nathan Olav Shalom, and he was already 20 years old. He was of draft age. So he had no passport. He had to sneak the border. He managed to get to a ship in Hamburg, I think, and made his way to New York. Got off at Ellis Island, and they asked him for his name. And he didn't want to give the Russian name. The Russian name was Kazhdan. But he knew that his father, who raised him, stepfather actually, and his brothers were Kohanim. So he gave the Hebrew name, and some clerk wrote it down with 2 O's. And that's why we still misspell our name. Okay.